So, moving on to my next one, and this is a Sailor Moon movie directed by Joss Whedon. Now, you're probably just saying, oh, you just picked Joss Whedon because he did a really good job at Avengers. Bit of column A, and plus Joss Whedon is really awesome at anything he touches. Now, the reason why I picked Joss Whedon for a Sailor Moon movie, on the grounds of he really knows how to juggle so many characters, and he's done some really cool female characters. And you could also argue, well, some of our favorite characters are going to die. They died in the manga and anime, so having them killed off in a movie wouldn't really be a change from the manga and anime, now would it? Like I said, he really knows how to juggle and diversify all of these different characters put together, and I'd really like to see how he would handle a majority female casted movie. Also, I'd really like to see how he would handle the magic stuff. And plus, he was going to do a Wonder Woman movie, so I'd really like to see how he like I said, I really wanted to see how Joss Whedon would tackle a all-female, 99.9% female movie. I'd like to see how he'd handle a big part of it, all-female movie, if he was going to, because he had some really cool ideas from his Wonder Woman stuff, so I'd really want to see how he'd do that. Among other things, I also think that I'd really like to see Joss Whedon delve into the magical stuff, but I think he'd delve into the more, like, cosmic element of Sailor Moon rather than more so the magical. I mean, I'd like to see how he'd handle magic stuff, but I think he would do more space stuff with Sailor Moon. Among other things, like I said, he's really good at characterization, he's really good at action sequences, and it would pretty much be like, at least the first movie, if this movie ever got a sequel, I think he would pretty much make it like a franchise, but at least the first movie, we'd have so many characters to play with, and so many diverse villains you could pick from. So that's pretty much it for me. I mean, there's a few other reasons why I'd pick Joss Whedon for a Sailor Moon movie, but those are like the prime reasons right there. So let's move on. All right, so my next pick for a live-action anime movie and director is Baccano, and who would I like to see direct a live-action Baccano movie? My pick would be Ruben Fletcher, or however you say his last name. I hope I didn't mess that name up. But Ruben Fletcher is the guy who directed. He's done 3 movies. He's directed Zombieland, 30 Minutes or Less, and Gangster Squad. And this is right up his alley. This is something that is not only delves into like the supernatural, but also delves into like it does have a comedy aspect as well, and it's a period piece. And Gangster Squad is pretty much a period piece, and it's also pretty freaking awesome. I will say that right now. But the thing is, like this, it sounds like everything he's Baccano and Ruben Fletcher. It just sounds like everything he's worked on. It has comedy, it has drama, it's a period piece. It delves into like the supernatural and horror aspect. It's everything he's done. The past 3 movies he's directed and thrown into one thing. I think he would do an excellent job with this. He can tack on some really good actors. Again, I'm not going to do any casting for it, but I will say this: if they ever do a live-action Baccano movie, this is one of those times where I'd be okay with American actors, because most of the characters, their nationality is American, and there are a few Japanese characters, but most of these characters are American, are pretty much American. They're from New York, Chicago, and Montana, the states. This is pretty much where I'd be okay with American actors playing these characters, because that's what they are. So, in that respect, Ruben Fletcher, I think, would do an excellent job with this. I think he would have a ball with this, especially with the one thing that would probably be a big problem with a Baccano movie would definitely be the conflicting, the multiple timelines happening at once. That kind of storytelling. Now, I love it for that, but if it had to be a movie, I think this would be someone's pick saying, oh, well, we're just going to stick to one story and just be the entire Flying Pussyfoot story and just mention everything else in the background, which I think would hurt it. But again, I've seen movies do that, where they show off all these multiple stories at once, going on at once, and it ties into the main story. So, who knows, if Ruben Fletcher could actually tie that in and make it interesting, I'd say, shit, I'm all for it. So, Ruben Fletcher for Baccano, in my opinion. So, my last one is pretty much High School of the Dead, and my pick for a director for a live-action High School of the Dead movie is Edgar Wright. Why Edgar Wright? Shaun of the Dead. But not only that, He has done other great movies, such as he's pretty much done. He's going to be directing Ant-Man. He's pretty much been the director for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and Hot Fuzz. Now, the reason why I pick him is like not just because of Shaun of the Dead. He is he's really good at adapting stuff. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and he said he'd like to do another zombie movie, but I don't want to say I typecast him, but from his record of movies of these fun parody gore fests, I mean, if you've seen a Edgar Wright film, or that little short he did called Don't in the Grindhouse movie, then you know this guy's all about fun and gore. So I'd say, and pretty much that's what High School of the Dead is. It's sex, gore, and blood everywhere. That is an Edgar Wright film right there. So I would say let him be on director, or at least writer. I'd say let him do at least writing, but if he got to be director, I would be all like, yes, this is epic, I am all in. So that would be my thing. I think I would really be okay with him being a director in this spot, because I really think he could really play around with all these younger characters, and he's done movies with younger actors before, so I think this would be a pretty good match for him. I think it would depend on if he wants to do another zombie film, because I think Shaun of the Dead was pretty much it, but he said he would be okay with another zombie film, at least from what I've heard. So maybe just do High School of the Dead and see how that would go. I'm just throwing that thought out there. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much all my thoughts for anime. If these now, I'm not for. Let me get this out of the way. I am not for saying. I'm always for animated first, because the animes, the live action movies so far have been all tripe. But if you get the right writers, the right producers, the right directors for these films, with people who actually enjoy them, as well as people who have a vision, a clear vision for these movies, I would say good. I will give them a shot. That's why I picked these directors, because I think they would have a clear vision on what they would do with it, on what would they do with these animes. But yeah, you guys tell me what you think of all this, and yeah, who would you pick for animes to get the live action movies, as long as they had a good director, good cast, or something like that. Again, this was not something serious I wanted to do. This is just something I wanted to do for fun. So, anywho, I'm out.